So all of the projects in our class should be in their own folder, shared with any team members you have. Inside the project folder, there should be a place where you're going to start collecting images, the ones that you buy and the ones that are free. Um, so open source images or images that we have purchased. And we'll also, the images that we create for logos and ones that we edit, we'll also sort in here. And then we'll also have your PowerPoint or your Google Slides where we will start collecting the ideas for for what kind of fonts you're using, what kind of colors, what kind of images, and we'll also start mocking up what type of user flows. So what process does the user have when they log on? They'll get a logon screen, they might get their account page, they might have a messaging system that they go through. Like, what do the screens look like, roughly, as a user goes through your site? And then we will make a folder that has the files for our HTML theme. Now, if I were to check out some of the other ones, we might find that the theme comes with documentation and other stuff that we'll keep in a different folder. But we want a single one just with with all of the files that we'll be using. Now we select colors. So you can just sort of flip through this app and let's look for a color scheme that you want to start with. So as we do this, we need to figure out what kind of colors. So I'm making one for Flaschini, which actually this sort of speaks to me a little bit. Flaschini is a starting point. You know, this isn't supposed to be, so having light pale colors kind of speaks to this temporary nature of what I'm building. And then having colors for contrast, I think what could also really be nice. I don't like the name gray asparagus, but whatever. So I'm going to keep this link here. And the first thing that I need to do in order to write these colors down, I need to make my own custom CSS file. So here's the Freelancer theme file, but it's important that I don't edit this CSS. Instead, I'm going to make my own file, call it custom.css. And right here, I'm going to make a comment, and I'm going to insert my colors. And I think my primary color will sort of be this really pale green. And so I'm going to copy this again and then space this out, because these each represent one of the colors. So primary, my primary color, sort of my secondary color, might sort of make this my background color. Instead of having a white background, I might kick off something like this. So, and that was the 4A. This would be my accent, and this is my alternate secondary. And so now I might want to get more shades of this color. So I could go to the Adobe Color Wheel, and if I punch in this color, I could get more different, like maybe when you're highlighting a box that has this color, what do? Come on, load up right here. There we go. So if I plug this in, so let's say I want monochromatic tones of this. So now I can get like a light and dark version of this. And so this would be the dark shade of this. Oops, sorry. So this is my dark version, and this is my light version. Maybe not light, but bright would be the better description. If I look at the Freelancer CSS file, the theme CSS file, you'll notice that it came with the header font Montserrat and the body font Lato. Now I'm going to just go ahead and keep these because, again, the thing that I'm creating for this example is, is a starting point for other people. I expect other people that use whatever it is I'm building to replace these fonts. So it's not as important to me. And I like Montserrat a lot. So I'm going to keep with these. But if you wanted something else, you would go to fonts.google.com. You'd find more, comment them here, and you would also add it to the Google doc that you're building. And so you'd add it to this thing, and keep building that up. Now start collecting stuff on Graphic River, on Shutterstock, and on free websites to find images that might play well with what you're building. Start building a huge collection of things that you can reference and maybe come back to later if you need them. And now we're going to need to start thinking about what kind of screenshots or what kind of pages are we going to build that'll show people what our app might look like if we were to build it. So now we're going to use the theme that we have to construct an example page. Ours will be static, meaning it's just it looks like an app. It actually doesn't do anything. None of the buttons will actually work, but we'll lay out everything so it kind of looks like what our app might how it might work.